Good afternoon. Today, take a moment to answer the do now. Who is an African American or Black historical figure that you admire or look up to? Someone influential who's living or dead? Why? So, today, as we start our Black History Month project, yes, I know we're a few months out from February, but we're going to start to get the ball rolling just so that we aren't overwhelmed when we get to February and having to do our project. So, for most of you, you have done this project before, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, not this again. To which I'll tell you, we have made some changes that will hopefully make you more excited about it. So, in general, what we will be doing is you'll be participating in a Black History Museum. This requires you to identify significant contributions of a famous or not so famous African American or African descended person. You'll get to choose the person to portray, but you must get teacher approval before proceeding with the project. In selecting a person, you should try to find someone of historical significance, someone who has been successful in their goals and dreams, and or someone who represents the best of people and the world. Using the research about the person, you will complete one of the following kinds of projects. So I'm going to show you the four kinds of projects, but in general, everybody is going to do two things. They're going to choose a person and research them, and they're going to create a poster for them. So everybody's doing that. What is different this year is whether or not you are going to be an interpreter. That means standing in front of people acting as the person. So you have four options for what you will do with your project. In option one, you can be a student interpreter. This is a living wax performance. Interpreters at museums and historic sites bring to life history by acting as the person would have acted based on historical research. So you will choose a costume and write a short speech to give whenever someone visits your exhibit. You can also choose to be a digital archivist. History is represented in material objects, primary and secondary sources. As a digital archivist, you will locate 10 to 20 primary and secondary sources related to your person, curate them for people to look through online. And during the actual museum day, since your thing is all online and people will just look through it, you act as a docent, which is a guide through the museum. Your third option is you can be a historic memorabilia maker. One of the greatest ways for individuals to remember their trip is to take something home with them called memorabilia. This could be a small book, a pamphlet, a keychain, a souvenir, or a postcard. As a maker, you will make one of these items. During the museum, you will act as a docent as well, a guide through the museum. So you can make a lot of different stuff, and this will obviously be something that I'll be able to help you with. Or you can be a digital exhibit creator. As an exhibit creator, you will make an interactive map or video documenting the life of the person you chose. This will serve to allow people who can't physically visit check out displays on our project. During the museum, you will act as a docent, a guide through the museum. Together, all of these will help you to focus on Black history and to lift up a story of somebody. So today, you're going to look at the Black History Museum project individual trackers for suggestions of people. And you can also choose to research famous Black individuals. You can look at the books I have selected, and by the end of class, you have to have three possible choices. And I'll talk to you about them as well. So as you think about that today, our goal is going to be, so on Google Classroom, you have the Black History Project individual project tracker. So the top post, you click on it, it opens up this Google sheet. You won't be able to edit it or anything. You'll just be able to look at it. And as you look at it, you have to decide who you're going to talk about. So you notice on the bottom, there's tabs based off of what kind of person they are. So are they a politician, an activist, an athlete, a writer, poet, or author, a performer or artist, a doctor or a nurse, a mathematician, scientist, inventor, or business person. And then there's also just a group called other. You can choose people that don't have a student listed next to them. So see this column that says student? If it is blank, you can do that person. I want to point out, though, that there are going to be certain people who I say, no, you can't do them. Because as eighth graders, I want you to lift up the stories of people who we don't hear very much about. So if you see a person and you know their name and you can tell us something about them, they're probably somebody I don't want you to choose. So Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Barack Obama, we're gonna save them for the sixth and the seventh graders. But people like Claudette Colvin, Angela Davis, Dorothy Height, people like Ruby Foster, Leon Day, writers like Richard Wright, Alexander Dumas, Paul Robeson. These are people that you guys can do as eighth graders. Now, I want to go on the record. If there's somebody on this list, or if there's no one on this list that you're interested in, this is not your only option. So, say for instance, you want to do, you someday want to be a pilot. You could look up famous Black pilots, and if you can find somebody who there's a lot of information on, somebody who has a good deal of sources, you can do them. And I can help you locate who is a good person to do. So this is another option to find people. If you tell me the person, then we'll add them to the list and you'll be able to do them as well. Last but not least, if you look over at the round table on my that I do small groups at, there are books there. You can look through those books for possible people to do as well. So by the end of class, I want you to have 3 people who you were thinking about doing. Just jot them down in your binder and be ready to talk to me about who you want to do. This is all done on your laptop. So at this time, you can start looking through those resources, or you can raise your hand and ask me any questions. Thanks for watching.